Chapter 1. Cian. Blood is the life force of every animal. I closed my eyes and let that sentiment titillate me as the sweet taste of smooth skin settled on my taste buds and sizzled down my throat, igniting a million charges of heat as visions of liquid gratification infused my mind like a raging waterfall. My tongue skimmed down her neck, and her heartbeat quickened against my chest, and her fingernails embedded marks into my skin, causing a euphoric pain I relished. I tangled my fingers in her long blonde hair that smelled like strawberries. Inhaling the seraphic fragrance, I dropped my hands to her legs, rubbed my palms up her long, shapely thighs, and squeezed her cheeks, lifting her up for a better angle. Her mouth was kissable, and I pressed my lips firmly against hers, tasting every bit of sweetness she had to offer. Moving to her neck, I pressed gentle kisses against her vein, and she tilted her head to the side. Perfect. "This won't hurt," I promised, then pierced my fangs into her neck, sinking them deep and letting her sweet nectar flow into my mouth. She quivered against me as the titillating sensation of having her blood sucked gently from her vein cast her over the edge into a pleasurable state of euphoria. I didn't want to drain her, didn't want to hurt her in any way. Her blood filled me with renewed strength and energy, and when I had my fill, I stopped sucking and licked the wounds closed with the tip of my tongue. "Thank you," I said. "You're welcome," she smiled. I straightened a few strands of her hair that stuck up from where I'd pressed her against the wall. "You will remember spending a wonderful evening with a date, experiencing the greatest pleasure imaginable, and you will recall that you are very tired, and then will decide to return home early, take a shower, and head to bed." She blinked, the glazed state of compulsion evident in her eyes. She yawned. "I feel like I could sleep for days," she mumbled to herself as she headed out of the alley toward the sidewalk in front of her apartment. I waited until she turned the corner, and then I strolled out of the alley. I was coming off a 3-day jamming session. We all were. We all being the band. Gage, Elvis, my brother Lane, and myself. Music coursed through our souls like a raging river, and work binges were frequent occurrences when we got in these creative moods. But this time, it left me feeling a bit enervated. On the way to the club where we performed each week, I'd asked Ari, our driver and human confidant, to pull over, needing to get out and stretch my legs. But now that I was out here, I noticed the city seemed rather calm for a Saturday night. The air stilled as though something major was about to happen. My bones twitched, and I grew angsty as a sentience floated through my mind, warning of change. What sort of change, I had no idea. I walked toward the club where we performed, passing a few small restaurants and bars along the way. That brief liaison left me feeling a bit better, but I was still on edge. As I rounded the corner in front of Club Royal, my gaze caught and held the penetrating stare of what had to be a goddess straight from heaven, stopping me in my tracks. Through the window of my favorite small but quaint Italian restaurant, a gorgeous, well-toned woman studiously watched me as I stood staring at her. She sat with another woman, sipping from a martini glass. Her unpretentious demeanor was alluring the way her gaze flicked down to the drink in front of her, then back up to me. As I began to walk again, my cock twitched, immediately followed by a restless ache. Everything about her was sexy, and I knew that the brief encounter a few moments ago had been nothing more than an aphrodisiac. The temptation to go back and approach her and introduce myself was almost overwhelming, but I didn't have time. Besides, what would I say? "Hey, I noticed you from the sidewalk and couldn't resist your beauty. By the way, want to fuck?" Something told me this woman wouldn't be so easily seduced, which made me want to pursue her even more. There was something about her eyes that drew me in, the way she blinked slowly, gracefully as she stared at me. God, I wanted to stay and learn more about her. What if I never saw her again? Could I simply let this moment pass by without even a short hello? Loud chatter caught my attention from down the street. The line outside the club was getting long, which meant I was running out of time. Gage's words slammed into my head. "Make it a quickie. We go on in 40 minutes. The guys would kick my ass if I left them to set up without me.
You can listen to the rest of the book in the Tempt Romance audiobooks app, available on the App Store and Google Play. The link to the book is in the description. Discover even more bestsellers and exclusive stories updated weekly, only in Tempt Romance audiobooks.